In this video, we're beginning our 1 month eBay challenge where we see how much money we can make by flipping items for an entire month. That's right, this video is going to follow the entire process of me buying and flipping items on eBay for an entire month, as the title would have suggested. Pretty excited about this one. I've been pretty busy with Shopify dropshipping and everything in the last probably couple months now. And it's been taking up a lot of my time, so what I really want to do is allocate some time specifically to eBay. And I figured why not allocate a specific amount of time to eBay store, which we can focus on. This is going to be the same eBay store that I've been running. However, what I want to do for this video is track each item specifically and share all the amounts with you guys, the total that we're going to make on this, total sales, total profit, what my costs are, everything that you can see, the inventory system. I want to walk you through the entire process, so if you're a new beginner, you can really learn the roots of starting a store like this. So here's the overall plan. I've purchased a couple items already that I want to start with. Anything that's on my receiving shelf, I'm going to say is good to go in terms of we can count it as long as I include the costs that I paid for it. These are mainly items purchased at Value Village, thrift stores, and whatnot. So I think as long as I include the cost of the item, obviously, in the challenge, I think it's fair to say that we are able to list that within our time. My goal is to spend 2 hours a day on this project, sort of every single day for the entire month. If I miss a day, I'm going to try to make it up the next day with an additional 2 hours, but hopefully that won't be the case. And besides that, we're essentially going to have to figure out ways to get more and more products because I know that I don't have enough here as of right now, but I have enough to get us started at least. We're also going to have to track everything. I'm going to show you how we keep track of the inventory, where things are stored, and how exactly we manage shipping it or whatnot. I want to get the Dynamo hooked up, the Taggies sent, and start using that to print out our labels. One thing here. I bought one of these things. Not sure if it's going to be useful in this challenge. It probably won't be. But either way, for those of you who don't know, this is a heat sealer. You put it on a bag and it will seal it properly. I should do an example, but I'll do it in another video because it might be unclear. However, this is mainly for new products. I'm not sure if we'll be able to use this, but I just want to share that. I thought that was a cool find. And it cost me 50 bucks with shipping. It was on eBay, it was 25 bucks, but with shipping and everything else, it was 50 bucks. But I still think it was a great deal. Anyway, I'm already distracted. This is just the episode 1 of this video. I'm going to try to fill you in multiple times throughout the month of March, which is when we're actually doing this. So yeah, we're going to start on March 1st, but first I want to show you guys a couple of the pickups that I found the other day when I was out thrifting to sort of kickstart this challenge for us, and we'll see. I'm going to put a few $100s towards this, and we'll be able to buy a couple products with that, obviously. Quite a few, I think, actually. But yeah, this video, we're going to set up some spreadsheets, some inventory sheets to track everything, as well as a sold sheet that we can track everything on that. We're going to do it all in numbers. Then we'll account for all the inventory that we choose that we want to start with, which is just a few items. Again, we're going to have to buy a lot more, and I'm going to bring you guys with me along as we go to actually find some of those items. And yeah, the entire process, we're going to get the boxes, everything. It's going to be really great. But first of all, before we do anything, I just want to go ahead and start off by pulling some eBay orders and getting those ready to be shipped out, because I got quite a few of them, I think, and we got to get those ready to go. Alright, so here's a nice little stack of video games that we sold. These is going to take me a little bit of time to pack, probably a few minutes, maybe 40 minutes to pack, I'm guessing. 30 to 40 minutes. But we got, I don't know how many sales here, maybe 10 or 15. And yeah, some good stuff sold, so I'm excited to get that all packed. And then we will move on to what the actual plan is for the video. Everything that we're going to do, talk about some of the inventory, build up those spreadsheets, get everything set and ready, and then we'll move along. But anyway, let me get these all packed up and ready to go. Okay, we got everything packed up, and that actually took under 20 minutes, around 18 and a half minutes, something like that. Pretty good. But yeah, I was way off. Alright, now that's all done, I actually had to do a little bit of cleanup in the warehouse, but I won't take you long for that. But yeah, we're going to move on to actually setting up the inventory sheet, but before we do that, of course, we had to... You know, I'm going to interrupt myself. You know, I realize that in all these videos, it's always before we do that. There's always something that has to happen before we do that. Anyway, what we have to do is go through the inventory on the receiving shelf, because it's a mess right now. Go through and figure out what we actually want to include in part of this challenge. Again, I hope this doesn't count as cheating or anything like that. I will show you guys sourcing some of the items, just I was out like yesterday and the day before, and I don't want to leave these items sitting there for a month, not getting listed. I want to list them, so I'm going to show you exactly what I paid. And then we'll add all those numbers into our inventory sheet. I'm going to show you which items we're going to use exactly. We'll put them off to the side a little bit, and that will be the start. And what we can use is use the earnings from those items as well as some more money, which I'll put in, and I'll explain exactly how much, of course, throughout the length of this challenge. And that will be a good way to monitor how much profit we're making and whatnot versus what we put in and what's actually selling, what's not. It'll allow us to get a good gauge of things. One more note I want to make before this is that for those of you guys who are new here, I sell mainly video games on eBay, as well as I'm getting into some Shopify stuff. I do a bunch of influencer marketing and stuff like that as well. However, my main business is video game sales on eBay at the moment. And so, yeah, I don't have extremely good experience working in these other industries. I mean, not really another industry, but you know what I mean, other niches, other sort of products. So I have been experimenting the last couple months. If you guys have been following the channel, you've seen I've been selling VHS players and phones and remote controls and iPhones, headsets, whatever we could find, really. Baby cameras, that was a good one. But yeah, so I've been buying a bunch of that stuff, as well as I want to learn some more stuff. We may even hit up Winners, Ross. I don't think we have Ross actually around here, but we'll hit up like Winners and wherever else is like that. I'm not even sure where to go. What's the equivalent of like Ross and TJ Maxx in Canada? That's what we need to find here. I mean, the dollar store too can be a good one. I found some good stuff there that we can flip. I don't know, we'll look around and see what we can find for this challenge. And if we buy any video games throughout, I will include those, but I'm not going to include anything that I do with the video game store with this, just because I want to keep that all separately. Any lots I get and whatnot, we won't include that in this challenge, just because I want it to be stuff that, you know, you guys can go out and execute on and not necessarily need the connections to get lots and whatnot. So with all that said, let's go ahead and jump into the inventory that we're going to be using for this challenge. And when I said it wasn't going to be a lot of inventory, I wasn't lying. These are the items that we're going to be starting with right here that I just picked up at Value Village. If you guys follow me on TikTok, you will know that I've already shown all these. You guys will have seen them all. You will see me pick them up, which is always cool. So be sure to go check that out. Anyway, we have an Avatar game here, which is new but opens. So it's new inside, but the packaging is just sort of ripped and whatnot. We paid $6.99 on that. We should be able to get about 20. That's one of the items we'll include, and that's what I mean by one of the video games. If we find them at the store, I'll include them. We also have right here a phone system, which looks like it should be going for about $30 to $40. We spent $6.99 on that guy in there. We have this business phone, which I had to do some more research on. Could be worth some really good money, though. I've seen these things go from anywhere between $100 to $300 in certain cases. I'm not sure if this is going to be one of those that's going to bring in that much, but even if we can get 50 bucks for it, I'll be super pumped. $6.99 on that one, though. And then at the bottom here, we have a VHS player. Really nice little JVC system. There's the model number right there if you want to look it up. Please focus. There it is. And yeah, it's a good system to have. It's a nice size and it's easy to ship, whatever. So I think it will sell quickly. We've had a couple sales though in the last couple weeks, I guess, I think on eBay for about 50 bucks. So yeah, that's a good item to have. And I think this will be kind of the bulk of the inventory that we're starting with. So not a lot, just a few items I picked up from the thrift store the other day. And down here, this is what I mean by the shelf's a mess. Oh, this one I do want to include as well. This is a Panasonic VHS player. We spent $11.99 on it, as well as if I can get this one working. I think there might be an issue with this one. I can't remember exactly why it's still here, because I know I did bring it out for testing once. Maybe I just didn't finish doing it. And this one maybe as well, if we can get around to it. I'm not going to include this one just yet, but if I feel like we're out of inventory and I have time, I'm going to go ahead and grab this one. It's already dusty. It's been sitting here for so long. This Apple thing I think we'll probably leave in the tablet because they're not worth anything, and they're just, I mean, we are going to list them eventually, but they are bad buys on my part. And then this is a broken baby camera. This is a bunch of random stuff. Again, if I include anything else, I'll share it with you guys, but I think that's basically it for right now. Oh, and I can't forget about the remotes. You guys know the remote game is real here. I've sold a bunch of remotes already, and I'm excited about these ones. Shot Erect, these look like they go for about 15 to 20 bucks a piece. This one is going to be probably garbage. I have not heard of it. I think some of you guys were telling me that Star Choice is now a Shot Erect or something like that, or they bought them, or I don't know. There's a whole bunch of comments about that. But anyway, I'm not sure what to do with this. Maybe we could give it away in honor of it being part of Shot Erect. That's a pretty stupid idea. Anyway, yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna grab these turn remotes and hopefully include those as well. I paid $6.99 or $7.99. I'll get the exact number on those, and that is everything that we're gonna be including. And there you guys have it. That feels like a pretty solid start to this challenge. Some good items there, which hopefully can bring in some big money, as well as, again, we're going to be putting in more money, buying some more items here to start off with. But I feel like that'll give us a good base. And yeah, so I'm going to be tracking these all. I have a whiteboard behind me. You guys remember what we did in November with the momentum board inspired by garage flips. We're going to be doing something sort of like that in a sense, except it's going to be tracking not only what we list, but the sales and the amount of time that we spend, listing stuff that day. That's that. Now we should hop into probably an inventory sheet. I'm going to be using numbers on the Apple system on Mac. Yeah, that should be the best system. That's what I use for all my other inventory systems, so I think I'm just going to do it on there. We're going to track it all separately, though. And yeah, it should be good. We'll be able to track all the sales. Let's hop into there, though, and create a new spreadsheet. I'll walk you guys through the entire thing, and we can hopefully set it all up so we're good to go when March starts. Okay guys, so hopping into numbers now, we've got a basic table laid out here. Table number 1, which we're going to rename to eBay Challenge Inventory. By the way, obviously if this challenge is successful, I might continue doing it. I could even document it, for the entire year if we could make some good money doing it. I'm not sure how much we'll do because, again, I am unfamiliar with selling items outside the video game niche. I'm sort of familiar, but I'm not a pro at it by any means. I don't make too much money. I think we made $400 something on the ones that we had sold over the last month or something. So I'm not sure the exact numbers. I shouldn't even be giving them to you guys, but there we go. So yeah, we'll see what we can make here. Anyway, we'll start with a column called item, and we'll actually call this item number. Right beside it, we're going to be doing a column called group. Now, essentially what you can do is you can group things to shelves, and I'm not actually going to be doing that in this specific video and in this specific challenge just because it's not going to be necessary. We're not going to deal with that many items. In the video game space, I have so many items to track that I like to do this, but I'm going to leave these open so then in the future, if we want to go ahead and add groups and item numbers, then we can. We will actually add item numbers in groups, but we just won't use the features that Numbers has built in that allow you to really get in depth and categorize things within your inventory sheet. Anyway, the next most important thing is going to be the item name. name and maybe a brief description about it. I'm just going to probably leave it as item name for right now, and if we feel like we need to add some descriptions, because again, these aren't just like specific video game names, these are like items that we have to maybe describe because we don't know what they're called, we can do that in the future and add that in there. Anyway, next up we're going to be adding the new and used column. It's just a simple word in there, N or U, or you can put new or used, and I feel like that's a valuable column just because it allows me to know that in case I need. These are all kind of things that you don't necessarily need, but I like to have them there at my disposal within the inventory sheet. In my video game sheet, I have a console category, which obviously we won't be needing because we're not selling for consoles. Maybe this would be a good spot though for descriptions slash kind of specifics about the item. And that is not how you spell that. Next up, my favorite one, the source, and that's exactly who or where we bought it from. Next up is item number. I won't usually add these until the item actually sells because sometimes things can change and I don't usually add those until later, but I like to have it on the inventory sheet. Then very simple things here, purchase price. We're also going to add tax because that will be a thing going to the thrift stores, and then also purchase price with tax or also total price. You know what, we should probably just leave that as just total price actually. You know what, don't forget with the tax. Tax slash additional. Maybe there was a shipping cost to get it here, whatever. We'll add the additional price in there just so we know. Next up is going to be the sell price. I'm not even going to bother with the quantity because we're not going to be worrying about that. So that is the basic inventory sheet that we have here. You would go along there, fill it all. I'll show you how to do the item number and group number in a second, but what we're going to do now is create a sales sheet. Go ahead, rename that to inventory, and then we'll add a sales sheet right here. Now for the sales sheet, we can actually start off by copying the inventory sheet into here. And the reason for that, and again, this is just the way that I do it. You guys feel free to, set up your sheets and your spreadsheet tracking however you want, your inventory tracking. You can use software for it, but this is just how I do it. The reason that I do this is so I can copy and paste them from one sheet to another when they sell. And that's sort of how I've been going about doing it for, as long as I've been reselling. But what I do is I go on the end here after the sell price, and we're going to start adding some extra columns that you would now fill in after you've pasted the item in. My first one is actually actual sale price, and that's the price that you actually got. The offer that you took, the price drop that you added in there, the actual sale price of the item goes in there. Then I like to add a charged shipping price. This is what we charged for shipping. Following that, the total sale price. This is the price of the item after the shipping and everything's been added in, the amount that got deposited into our PayPal account, and that's what will go there. Following that, we get into the expenses, the PayPal fees, which we can actually set up with a formula here, as well as the eBay fees. PayPal fees are 0.2, oh, I got an equal sign in there. They are 0.29%, which is actually, supposed to be like that, 0.029. And then multiplied by the total sale price, of course. PayPal takes a fee off of that entire transaction. And then in addition to that, we had to add the 30-cent transaction fee, and that's gonna be your PayPal fees. And eBay fees are always so unclear to me. I think they're like somewhere around 11%, and I might be wrong about that, but I believe that's what they're at. So you know what, we're just gonna leave them at that, and we will make adjustments in the future. We're also gonna have to multiply those if need be. I know different categories sometimes have different fees. I'm not even sure how it works. I should probably know how it works. I've been on the platform long enough, but it's so, I don't know. I can never get a straight answer, so we'll leave it at that. Then the actual shipping price. This is the price that we paid to ship it out, and that is usually, again, since I don't actually print shipping labels through eBay, I usually get a different rate at the post office, and there's usually a difference. Sometimes it's a win or a loss for me in terms of a little bit of extra money or a little bit less, but it's a very minimal amount. But that's when we get the actual amount in there. Then I want to add another one for packaging material. Honestly, you know what? Actually, no, let's not do that. That's just, in a real business situation, that's just written off as an expense. You got your supplies, and that's just part of that. So we're not going to include that. If you had the same item selling over and over and you use the exact same box for that item every time, and it costs you exactly 30 cents every time, you might want to add that in there as a cost for your actual sale. However, in this case, we're just going to use general supplies. I'm not going to write down tape. 2 cents of tape was used here, or a 10-cent box that I got, or whatever. I'm just going to leave it boxed at all different sizes. All the products require different things, and we will just leave that blank. Which means we're actually going to jump right over to our net sale price. This is the profit that we earned off of the sale, the profit or the loss that we took. Finally, the date of the sale followed by the eBay user that bought it. I'm actually going to say customer ID / eBay user. Now, I don't actually put down their name. I put down their eBay username, and this is only for the purpose of tracking if there's some sort of fraudulent buyer going on here, somebody scamming me. It has helped me in the past figure out, if somebody buys 3 games, and I can search them up by their eBay ID, see what they purchased, and those were all returned, or they were all claimed to not have arrived. Maybe I put them on, a no-sell list or whatever. So that's sort of the idea behind that. I don't use it too much, but it is definitely a helpful thing to have, and it takes 2 seconds to add it for each sale, so big deal. Yeah, it's a helpful thing to have. You can also add in emails of your customers if you want to track that as well. They give you that, and then you could email them if you wanted to and have access. This guy bought this, I can send him an email. I don't see the need for that, so I'm going to leave that out in this case. But there is our formulas all set up. Actually, no, that's not true. There's all of our titles set up, but we have to actually set up some more formulas here. The net price is obviously going to be equal to the actual sale price. Sorry, I'm going to change that. Instead, the actual sale price is going to be equal to the total sale price, subtracting the PayPal fees minus the eBay fees minus the actual shipping price, and that's going to give us our total profit, which right now, of course, is negative 30 cents because of our PayPal fees. And now for our total sale price, that we're going to have a formula in there. It's just actual sale price added with the charged shipping price. That gives us our total sale price, and that is basically all set up. Again, you may have to vary this for whatever eBay business you're running, an eBay store, or you could use this, I suppose, in other businesses as well, but I just use it for eBay. And yeah, you're gonna have to alter it to kind of fit what you're selling. Again, if I was doing new items, I need quantities, and I need to set up a whole different system. If I was selling video games, I need a whole other system because it's got to track them individually. But for what we're doing here, this is going to be just perfect for especially at the scale that we're at too. If you were on a much larger scale, you might want to look into something a little bit more streamlined and easy to use. But for the most part, I find this system pretty straightforward and easy to use. So that's going to be it. By the way, for all these formulas, you're going to want to grab them and drag them all down. And this is actually just them right here. Let's just go ahead and grab this yellow guy and drag them all the way down to the bottom. We can extend this chart as well as we need to in the future. But that is going to pretty much do it for our chart, and I'm going to leave it there. So what I'll do over the next couple days is add in the items that I purchased. By next episode, I'll be able to show you guys the total sale price, or the total purchase price, I should say, on the items that we bought, as well as probably the total sale price, what we're going to list them at. And then the second that March 1st is, I'm not going to start before then, as long as, or I know I want to, but as long as I can control myself, I'm not going to do that. And then we'll start the challenge then. And yeah, that's basically the idea behind this, and hopefully it works out pretty well. By the way, the marketing video for the Shopify store is going to be coming out soon. It is a little bit delayed because I haven't been having too much success with it, but I have made a couple sales. You guys will see. I'm not going to spoil too much on the Shopify thing, but we're kind of rethinking, working towards a better ad strategy. I've got some great campaigns coming out with some awesome creatives and whatnot. So I'm pumped about it, but the video is going to be a little bit delayed, and that's why I haven't been posting too much. But I'm glad to say that I have a full calendar set up with a whole bunch of video ideas coming out this sort of next 2 months or so. So I'm excited about that, and this is the first one, the first episode of this sort of series, mini-series that we're going to be running on the channel. So pumped about that, and I hope you guys enjoy this short little video. I can't wait to see you guys when this challenge really starts up. We'll see our total purchase price so far, and then we'll start to hopefully be listing and selling some things. Super pumped about it though. And yeah, I'll see you guys then. If you guys did enjoy, don't forget to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I will see you guys in the next one.